Thank you so much for joining us here at KEXP, where the music matters. I'm Cheryl Waters, and down here in the KEXP studios with another wonderful band. All these great performances supported by you, our fabulous listeners. You can find out more about KEXP at kexp.org. And I'm so happy to have Sobs with us. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
So fun to have you here. We're so excited about your new record, Air Guitar, and to hear you performing live today. We'll catch up after the session, but let's hear some live music. It's Sobs live on KEXP.
What can I say to all the people that I built? Buried in the haze of my mistakes. It's a tonight, 'cause I've been feeling a little right. Around the edges, giving in for not to go. Sitting here quietly, do you enjoy our strange formalities? Could you feel my uncertainty? I'm dying to know you with all that you've been through. For what it's worth, my inhibitions, they don't listen. Kept my reserve, but you left me with no explanation. I just don't know the station. It's turning the lights back on. Buried before they say another escape. Soft in my face, I was busy with your cake. Down to my apartment, we demanded a drop everything. Had to look outside, and now I hate it when you cry. Does it have to end like this? Because feelings are down. Sitting here quietly, do you enjoy our strange formalities? Could you feel my uncertainty? I'm dying to know you. This time I'll show you. For what it's worth, I think it's so was like I never was. Felt content. I took the biggest bite. I'm destined for life, and I paid attention to the stage that I fell on. Do us together, this thing that I hate. Strip it down to the waist arms folded, tired in the air. Please just hold onto your breath while you're sinking to the ground. Strip it down to the waist arms folded, tired in the air. Please just hold onto your breath while you're stuck on my shirt like a stain. Girl, now your living is dead. Find me another. You'll come around when your feeling is out again. Burning into me
You're listening to Sobs here on KEXP, where the music matters. That song from their newest album, Air Guitar. And there are a ton of you here today. Celine, you want to give a quick little introduction for our listeners of who's here?
Yeah, so hi, we're Sobs. We are a band from Singapore. So this is Shaun on the drums. We have Bo over here on the bass. We have Jared over here on the guitars. Soffi on the keys. And our other guitarist is Raph. Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful to meet you. Jared, of course, is no stranger to the KEXP airwaves. And we're so happy to have you here today. And Sobs, again, a new album called Air Guitar came out in October on Top Shelf Records.
I can't
You're listening to Sobs live on KEXP in Seattle for the Freakout Fest, and so happy they've made time to stop by KEXP and share some songs with us live. That last one from their 2018 album, Telltale Signs.
Turn out love and some say trilogy. Thought it was done sweetness of my cherry pie. I can't stop but I'll try.
We're live in the KEXP studios with Sobs.
I'm lying in my bed at night, still thinking about our kiss. Is it that I regret it? Or maybe love sees you scared to call, but I really want to figure this out this time. Falling asleep, seeing you in my dreams, and haunt me all my life. Just wanted you to know that it's okay. I know you'll forget me someday, and you will. And I'll still be here for you. I'll still get to kiss you. There's only so much that we can't say. It's so wish you can't say, so we try. And I'll still be here for you. I can't stop thinking about you. Staring at my phone again. Would you respond all day? I said so much to ask if I feel so we don't buy this. Scared to call, but really want to figure this out this time. Falling asleep, seeing you in my dreams, and haunt me all my life. Just wanted you to know that it's okay. I know you'll forget me someday, and you will. And I'll still be here for you. I'll still get to kiss you. There's only so much that we can't say. It's so wish you can't say, so we try. And I'll still be here for you. I can't stop thinking about you. Baby, will you stay? Will you stay with me? Baby, you take it. I'll stop you from leaving. Baby, will you stay? Will you stay with me? Baby, you take it. I'll stop you from leaving. Baby, will you stay? Will you stay with me? Baby, you take it. I'll stop you from leaving. Baby, will you stay? Will you stay with me? Baby, you take it. I'll stop you from leaving. Baby, will you stay? Will you stay with me? Baby, you take it. I won't stop you from leaving. Baby, will you stay? Will you stay with me? Baby, it's okay. I won't stop you from leaving.
That was Sobs live here in the KEXP studios. Thank you so much. It's so fun to hear you performing the songs from air guitar live.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
When I listen to air guitar and when I read interviews with the band, one of the main things that stands out is that Sobs are dedicated to pop music. And I know that you love other styles of music as well, but what about pop music makes you want to showcase it in this band? And what do you love about it?
I guess like from before when I was even a musician or viewed music as a musician, I've always been drawn to like pop music. so naturally it comes through. Yeah, and yeah, I think same for the rest of the band in some ways.
I guess like no matter what kind of music you listen to, like electronic, rock, whatever, I think our favorite music all has a certain pop element to it. Like, yeah.
Just like catchy
Just
stuff.
like catchy
you know?
stuff,
Just
yeah.
like catchy stuff.
Well, your last record, Telltale Signs, which you played a song from today, came out in 2018, and then Air Guitar came out at the end of 2022. So you had a lot of space in between to really think about what you wanted your next record to sound like. And what did you learn in those years in between that you put into this new record?
I think definitely the pandemic put a lot into perspective, like not being able to play shows, kind of closing ourselves in and figuring things out as a band, and also like within the flow of the album, the theme of the album, how things sound sonically. So it was this distance that gave us the time to kind of push the album out in the way that we wanted to.
And do you produce the album yourselves as well?
Yeah, we all like pretty much self-produce everything. Yeah. We only record drums in a real studio, but everything else we do it at home, in our bedrooms, at our friends' place, things like that. Yeah.
Celine, you have a solo project called Cayenne, and you've talked about how creating music for that has taught you a lot about songwriting and maybe even made you feel more confident as a songwriter. What has that brought to this band? Because you do both of them at the same time.
I guess like before Cayenne, I've always just seen myself as Sobs, so I don't really know who I was outside of Sobs. And Cayenne was like my outlet to figure out my own sound. And now it's like finding a way to bridge the both sounds together in both projects.
Do you feel like the songs come easier?
Like Sobs?
Well, maybe as a result of working on stuff by yourself, do they come easier for Sobs?
I feel like it's always, I don't know, it's like ups and downs, but generally when I write with Jared, it always like flows really well because they're super like in sync when we write. Yeah.
You talked about not being able to play shows for a couple years, like everyone, and you started, was it about 5 years ago as a band?
Yes.
5 or
Six.
6 years.
Yeah, 2017.
It sounds like you generated a big audience online, and for a long time, that's how you were able to interact with your fans, and then eventually you were able to start playing live shows. What was it like being face-to-face with your fans after so long and having such a big audience online?
Yeah, I think it's the coolest thing. We're from Singapore. We're very far away from everyone in the US, and this has been like a really long time coming, and it's been something we've looked forward to for a long time. And even in like the starting days of the band, like we were very inspired by American indie rock, right? 6 years ago, and it's just very surreal to see it all come true now. And ultimately, it's just great to see everyone face to face finally too.
You've toured quite a bit around Southeast Asia. What is the local music scene like for you in Singapore? We obviously are fans of Subsonic Eye that Jared featured on KEXP and that we play a lot. But are there a lot of bands, and is it easy to play shows?
Go for it, Jared.
Lately there haven't been many venues to play shows, many smaller venues like 100, 200 cap. So it's kind of harder to play to like just our community, I guess. But all of us are always making music. We have friends that are in really good bands like Soffi over here and Bo. Soffi sings for a band called Blush. He's in a band called Cosmic Child, and Shaun has played music like forever in like many legendary bands that to me like some of my favorite bands. Yeah. Anything to add?
All around great music scene in Singapore and Southeast Asia, and coming to the US definitely made me appreciate everything that we've got to see on tour a lot more.
It really feels like you support one another, that there are bands that came before you that support you, and that you're also paying it forward to bands. I love to see that.
Yeah, and speaking of like Southeast Asia, like lots of great bands in Indonesia, Philippines, and yeah.
Yeah, or even like the rest of Asia, like Say Sumi on my shirt here right now. And Bo over there, Harugam Zaboy from Bangkok.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Well, we'd love Say Sumi, and we're going to have to steal all your T-shirts and discover some new bands because we definitely love to pick your brains for more great music from Southeast Asia. Thank you so much for coming in. It is such a pleasure. Air Guitar is the latest album from Sobs out on Top Shelf Records, and we want to thank them for this incredible session today and thank all of our listeners, people who are watching these sessions. You make them possible. We are a community-supported nonprofit radio station, and you can make a donation anytime at kexp.org to make sure that we continue to discover and feature great live sessions like this one today. Once again, a big thank you to Sobs. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.